Life is 10 times better when you're in control. So I am a control freak. And chances are, if you're watching this video, you are too. Because the reality is that in life, things are better when you're in control. Now, does everyone deserve to have control? No. This is why there's so many car accidents every single day, because people don't know how to drive behind the wheel, because they don't know how to take control of the wheel and drive. There's a lot of people that shouldn't be driving. They shouldn't have control. There's a lot of people that shouldn't have control. But then there's also a lot of other people who should have more control, but they're not stepping up to the plate. They're afraid to take their chance, and they're afraid to swing and miss. But life is 10 times better when you have control. Because when you have control, you control your day. If you can control your day, you can control your life. If you can control what you're doing all the time, you can control your life, which is what we all want to do. We all want to control our lives. Because if you have control of your life, then you live an amazing life, which we all want to do. All of us. All of us. You watching this video, every single person wants to live an amazing life. But the reality is that you do need slaves in order for other people to have power. And that's just how the world works. Because if everyone wanted control, if every single person wanted to have control, there would be a revolution and people would be dying every day. Because, like I said, people just have to, there has to be a top dog and there has to be slaves. There has to be bosses, there has to be minions for the world to function. So in order for that to happen, there has to be people who make less money than other people. There has to be people who are way more jacked than other people because they put in more work. There has to be people in relationships. There has to be a power dynamic where the man is in charge and the woman isn't. Like, this is how everything in life works. Everything in life works this way. And it's 10 times better when you're in control. But like I said before, not everyone deserves control. Not everyone deserves to have control. Like, there are a lot of people out there that would be much better off becoming powerless and handing over control to someone else that they trust, that would put them in a much better position to succeed than themselves. And that's just the reality. And it's terrible to say this. It's terrible to say that women shouldn't be driving, they shouldn't be working. It's terrible to say that, but I'm going to say it because they don't handle control well. They don't handle power well. They're not evolutionary designed for power. They're not meant to be on the top. They're meant to be wives, be mothers. But that's a whole nother topic. The title of this video is is life becoming 10 times better when you're in control. I was just directing it towards men because in general, men want to have control more than women do. Now, of course, women can have control, but it's not what they want. Women don't really want control. They're only doing that because there's weak men that don't know how to take control. So they have to take control, but they always despise being in control. They hate having power. Women will have power. 100% they'll take it, but they hate it. They don't like it. They don't like it at all. They'll have power, but they dislike it. They don't like to have control. They would much rather just relax, just chill, and let the man handle everything. Let the man handle all the problems. Let the man handle all the stress. Let the man handle it, because that's just how it was for such a long period of time. But now, with feminism just starting in the 1970s, because now it's 2026, this is a new thing, just like the internet is that you're watching this on. Feminism and the internet are both new things that have evolved, and we don't know where either of them can go, but we do know how life was, how life used to be for years and end, how it used to be, because that's the best way it was. And now we want to change things up. We just don't know how it's going to end up, because we know the best way of life is a man, a woman, children, a family. That's the best way the life is. But we want we want women to work. Nope, we want to have women in power. We don't want to have any children. and that's the way people want to live their life. But nope, life is 10 times better when you're in control. Now, I did go off a little bit of a tangent there, but guarantee you still got value out this video. So if you did, like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.